To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. It's a beautiful day today. It's going to get hot, but it's supposed to cool down again. And we're starting to head into fall. It's going to start getting pretty chilly pretty soon. I just found out, though, that she doesn't want to live off-grid. I thought I'd give you some history first, take you down in the woods. I don't get to go down in the woods very much. I think the snakes should be kind of taming down a little bit. I've been down here once already this morning, so let's hope that they're out there sunning on the road instead of down here. I will tell you though, somewhere around here an animal has died. I've looked all over this property and I can't find it on our property, so it may be on the neighbor's property, but I only get a whiff of it when the breeze is in a certain direction. So it could be 1 second you smell it really bad and the next minute you don't. I want to talk to you about fence posts and trees. This is very frustrating to me. The last time someone lived here was in 1975. I don't know. I can't tell. I mean, there's just no way for me to know how long this tree has been growing into this fence row. I think the fence row has been here a very long time. There's an old building just down here. Doubt if you can see it through the weeds, but right about there somewhere, there is an old building that's fallen down. I think like an old goat house, something like that. Some sort of animal shelter, I would think. But they wrapped a fence around these trees. Now, I don't think they actually nailed the fence into the trees. I think they wrapped them into them. This tree just doesn't look that old. I don't know what a 25-year-old oak tree looks like, but it doesn't look that old. So I don't know. Maybe they just kind of wrapped around and eventually the tree grew into it. This one goes all the way around. But there's a couple problems with that. One, it damages the tree. And two, if you ever have to cut the tree down, you're going to have to cut way up here because you can't get into the tree, so you're going to have this huge stump laying there, or you have to take an axe and you're going to have to chop it out. I always suggest that if you're going to build a fence, don't use trees as your fence post. I just think it's just a bad idea. Enough about that. Give you a little history. We came down here 7 months ago and started living off-grid. We've been a nomad for 3 years. So we've been traveling around the country, living off-grid then too, pretty much. Of course, we used a generator. We didn't use solar panels. We had a little pickup truck, so solar panels that would have been enough to power what we needed would have weighed too much. So we got a 50-pound generator in exchange for 150 pounds of solar panels. And you would have to have lots of batteries with the solar panels too, at least 2 or 3. I got 4 now. But with the generator, I was able to charge the batteries right before I went to bed. They last through the night. Like I said, we did the nomadic lifestyle for 3 years, but Carolyn and I, neither one liked it at all. It was just too stressful. There were so many people around, you always had to deal with people. The difference between a national forest and our forests, if that's what you want to call it, I call them woods, we can improve the quality of the property. When in a national forest, you go out there, you clean it up, and you come back a month later, 2 months later, and it's destroyed again. We saw that in New Mexico. We stopped at a campground, stayed there a few nights, moved on, went over to Arizona for the rest of the summer, came back, and everything that we had cleaned up the first time was already back to being a disaster. It was just frustrating. So we decided that we were going to live off grid, and we came here in the middle of winter and bought this property, I think in January. And we spent a lot of time developing our systems, getting ready to live off grid. I had to build a base for the camper, a temporary, so I could put the camper onto the base so we could live in the camper temporarily until I get that tiny house built. Then we hooked up the solar panels, got the well running because this property had a well on it. Cleaned the property up a lot. I mean, we made it where it's livable. It was in pretty bad shape when we got here. I've mentioned that a lot. As a matter of fact, I've been watching the videos when we first started here, and it's just incredible the difference the property looks now compared to then. We removed an old mobile home trailer. We tore it down off its trailer frame so we could build a tiny house, and that took a good month to clean that up. So we've done a lot of hard work getting all this ready, and now we're progressing quite well, at least to my time schedule. I know a lot of commenters are very upset that we don't build a tiny house right now. You got to get it built now, like there's some emergency. I don't understand. We're happy. I'll work on it when I have the finances available, when the lumber's available. I'm not making excuses. There is no excuse. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to because of the price. That's not an excuse. That's just what I want to do. An excuse will be, yeah, I need to build that tiny house, but I just can't because of some reason. The other aspect of this is firewood. I've been working diligently at firewood, and I guess I don't understand why folks are so upset that I'm working on firewood. You don't need to work on firewood. You got to get that tiny house built. Well, my priorities just seem to be a little bit different. I don't like cold weather. I just don't. So I'm going to work on making sure I got plenty of firewood so I don't have to deal with the cold weather. We've got the solar panels working now. We got 1,000 watts. We started out with 800 watts. We've got 1,000 watts of solar panels now. It keeps up very well. Now, we've had several cloudy days. I would say almost a week's worth of cloudy days. Given the length of time, the solar panels started not keeping up, I guess. It was the best way to put it. We had some days that it rained all day long. So the batteries started depleting over time. And they're lead acid batteries. And you're supposed to maintain lead acid batteries, and I hadn't done it in a while. So the first sunny day, real sunny day like today, I disconnected everything from the solar system, put it all on a generator for about 6 hours. The whole house was on generator for 6 hours, shut off the inverter, and just let the batteries charge. And man, they are like new now. But it's been a lot of work. The advantage to this kind of work is it's not stressful work. Now, whether you agree with what I'm doing and how the sequence of events that I'm doing it with, it's been a lot of work. And I'm quite satisfied with the work. I've just never been happier. I've never been in better shape in my adult life since I got out of the Navy. I've always had a kind of a cushy office job my entire life. And then we became nomads, and you don't do anything as a nomad. You just get so out of shape. But man, I'm feeling stronger all the time. And the older I get, I realize that I got to get in shape. For example, I keep twisting my ankle. I've been twisting it left and right since I've been here. I know it's getting weak and old and decrepit. And that's why I'm twisting. I had to buy an ankle brace. I feel like I need to keep in shape so other body parts don't start failing. And it seems to be working. So the hard work is vital. But I got a comment the other day from a woman who just chewed me out from one end to the other. Why would anybody want to work themselves to death to do what you're doing so you can live like, slobs, lowlives, hillbillies, whatever? Well, I feel like I live better than some folks do in an apartment. I've seen apartments in the cities. They can get pretty bad. You got all the illegal substance making. I remember I lived in an apartment in Des Moines, Iowa. Years ago, back in early 2000, maybe it was 99. And I looked at satellite images of them apartments not that long ago. Most of the apartment complex, there were separate buildings in this apartment complex. And I would say like 6 of them was burned to the ground. And you know what they were doing? They were making illegal substance labs, and they would blow up and catch on fire, burn down. I think I'd rather live a pathetic life knowing that I'm happy and in shape, eating well, good hygiene. Everything seems to be working in my favor. There is nothing wrong with hard work. And the thing is I'm working for myself. Independence. And when I say I'm working for myself, the true sense of the phrase. When you're self-employed, you're still having to deal with customers. But being self-sufficient, you're totally working for yourself. So I hope I can inspire you to think about things in an independent fashion and work hard at it. Thanks for watching.